Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin today, guys. All right, so here's what I've been looking at the past couple days. We had a little falling wedge on the 4-hour time frame. We broke that falling wedge going to the upside. I was super tempted to trade this before it started to pop, like before it started to run, but I didn't. And then we had an uptrend, and then it looked like it broke that uptrend going sideways. So like I tell you guys, when we break a trend, usually what I'll do is look at the top and I'll look at the bottom support. And if we break the top, then we can get more confident on it going up. And if we break to the bottom, that's a confirmation that we might be going down, because we were on an uptrend. We broke that uptrend going sideways, kind of going down for a second. We got some support, but if we break this bottom line, this support line going down, then we can get more confident on it going to the downside and look at us having to look at the previous supports from the past. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at right now. And let me show you how I kind of got there, because what I was looking at, let me just delete everything and I'm going to show you how, like, kind of how I got here. Because we were looking at a downtrend. I was looking at the tops over here. Something like that. Let's go ahead and do that trend line. Something like this. I think it was more something like this. Let's see, how did I have it? It was something like this. I was using kind of more of this trend right here. Like this resistance, and this resistance. And then I was wondering, I was just like, oh, well, let's check out the bottoms. And then so I did something like this. That's how I got that falling wedge pattern. And I was, like I said, I was super tempted to trade this, because even if we went up to the next Fibonacci retracement level from right here, this breakout would have been around 10%, somewhere around there. And so then we broke that trend line going to the upside. We broke that pattern, and then then we were on an uptrend, something like this. I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. So when we're going down, we're looking at the tops, because we want to see when we're going to break that top and start changing direction. And then when we're going up, we want to look at the bottoms to see when we're going to change direction going to the downside. And right here, we broke that trend like I was talking about. And once we break the trend, then I like looking at the tops, and then I like kind of seeing what happens. And if we could kind of form support like we did right here, where we got a bounce to the upside, then I like looking at the top and the bottom, something like this, just straight lines, just like that level right there. So like I said, if we break to the upside, then we can get more confident on it going up, maybe coming back up to the Fibonacci, the 71%. 78% Fibonacci retracement level that I've been looking at. And maybe we'll get resistance here and start coming back down again. Or if we could break through that, then we could get more confident on the next one. Once we broke it over here, I was targeting the next Fibonacci retracement level at .248. But we kind of had some resistance and started trending down again. Like I've been talking about in my videos, I wouldn't doubt if we have to go sideways for a while. And that kind of seems like what we're doing. So yeah, let's see if we could break up or if we break down. I'm not sure. We broke this uptrend going down, so we might, if we break this bottom support, then we could get more confident on it going down. I still have a limit order at 10 cents just to be safe. Ever since we broke the .185, this 78% Fibonacci retracement level going to the downside. Once we break them going down, I like looking at the next one. If we break it going up, I like looking at the next one going up. And I have positions at these Fibonacci retracement levels. That's also why I have one at 10 cents, or a potential one. If it goes that low, then I will buy at 10 cents. If you're new to the channel, the way I got the Fibonacci retracement levels is we had a big run, we had trouble at the top, we had trouble in this area, should I say, and then so once we start having trouble and we think we topped out, we could drag from the bottom. We could get the Fibonacci retracement tool, drag from the bottom to the top, and then that gives me those levels that I was just talking about, the 78% level and so forth. So I took profits up here, started dollar cost averaging at these levels. And hopefully, not hopefully we can go down, but Like, I don't care either way. If we go down, I'll fill a limit order. I think this would be a good buying opportunity, 10 cents. But if we start heading up, then like I said, I've been dollar cost averaging at these levels. And so it'd be nice to move to the upside. The other thing that I've been watching on my channel for a while is a falling wedge pattern over here. And we did break that falling wedge pattern like this because we had a bottom, 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 bouncing in between those two trend lines, getting tighter and tighter as we go down. Falling wedge, classic falling wedge, lower lows, lower highs, getting tighter and tighter though. We broke that trend line going to the upside, and I think this was a good signal right here. I think this was a good thing that happened, us breaking this resistance. I think this could be the start, but like I've also been talking about, I wouldn't be surprised if we had to go sideways for a while before we actually were able to head back up, because that's what happened last year. And we might have to wait even longer than that. I mean, last year was or the year before that, I can't remember. Yeah, it was last year. It was a halving year. So basically we had a big run to the upside, and then we started doing a falling wedge pattern, same thing. Then we broke that falling wedge right here, got a nice little pop, but then got rejected and started kind of going sideways for a while. Basically, we were going sideways for quite a while before we actually started moving to the upside again. And I'm wondering if, or actually kind of trying to actually fulfilling this falling wedge pattern, because technically the top of the falling wedge is the target. And then if we break that top, then that's when we really started to push up. That's when we really got those crazy green candles right here. But basically the same thing. I'm not saying that it's 100% guaranteed to do that, but this is one of my favorite patterns. So we have a falling wedge, boom, boom, boom. We broke that going to the upside. I suspect that we have to go sideways, because if we look at the moving averages, let's just look at the weekly right away. Let's go ahead and delete these little trend lines on the smaller time frame just for now. And we're looking at the 9 moving average, this blue line right here. And I talk about this every video pretty much, but when we break above it like we did right here, sometimes not always, but sometimes it acts as support. When we break above it and close the candles above the 9 moving average, then we can start bouncing on it and getting support and pushing to the upside. Once we break below it, then we come into contact, we test it, get rejected right on that line. Once we get below it, then it gives us more trouble and it pushes us to the downside. Basically, when we're below the 9 moving average, it's in a bad position, and when we're above it, like we broke above it right here, then we're in a good position. Right now, we're below it, which means we're in a bad position. But what I want to see it do is us kind of go sideways, let the 9 moving average kind of catch up to us. Then we can ease into it and go break through it going sideways, as opposed to us having to break through it when it's on top of us. So yeah, what I'm kind of looking for is for the weekly 9 moving average to come down a little bit more, maybe meet the price a little bit more. Maybe we can go sideways for another week or two, and then once we can like start easing into it, maybe we can do what we did back here, close above the weekly 9 moving average, start testing it, and maybe get support on it. Then we can start pushing to the upside possibly. That's what I'm kind of hoping for and looking for. Like I said, I still have a limit order at 10 cents. If we go down to 10 cents, it's going to mean that the weekly moving average is going to have to catch up to us even more. But I'm not super confident on this. It's a small order, but it's still there just in case it like dips down and then comes back up. I don't know if it's going to do that though. Like, I'm not super confident on this right now. That's why I was saying at the beginning, I was kind of tempted to play off this little falling wedge pattern that I was looking at before, because like a lot of what I'm looking at is just the trends, like just like day to day. What does this look like? You know what I mean? This looks like it's trending down. Let's go ahead and set up like a little line where it's kind of having trouble pushing through, something like this. And that's where I got that top line from. And I was thinking, if we break, and I even mentioned this, I think on the last video, I think I was looking at this top, and I had a line right there. If we break this line going like up, then we can start maybe changing direction. If we, I mean, until then it's going to give us trouble and push us down. But we broke it right here going up. And then I was looking, I was like wondering, I was like, okay, so we have some support right here and some support right here. Let's see the line right there, like I was talking about, something like that. Kind of looks like a falling wedge, like we're looking at on the daily time frame, where we're getting lower lows, I mean lower highs, lower lows, and it's getting tighter and tighter in between those two trend lines. We broke that resistance, and I was, like I said, I was super tempted to trade off it, but I didn't. I was gonna pull my limit order from down here and trade this, but I don't know. I just haven't been trading that much in general. Um, so yeah, then it started to pump up, and I was like, oh well, like I should have traded it, but it's all good. So now I'm looking at this uptrend like that, like I was talking about, but we kind of broke that going sideways, found some support, but let's see what happens if in the, like, this is a smaller time frame, like I said, the 4 hour time frame. Let's see if it breaks this top right here, or if it breaks this little bottom support right here. Which one is it going to do first? And that'll kind of give us a confirmation, like it did, I can't remember where it was. I think it was over here, where it started to go, like we came up and then got resistance, or maybe it was right here. Actually, this is what I was looking at, because we had, this is the same thing that happened over here. We had an uptrend, something like this. Yeah, it was something like that. And we broke that uptrend right here. I started looking at the bottom and I started looking at the top. We broke the bottom, and then that was kind of like the confirmation that we're heading down. Same thing right here. If we break the support right here, then that'll be a confirmation that we're heading down, and then we can start looking at the previous support levels, something like that, or maybe even something like that, or maybe something like that. When we're going to the downside, just look in the past and see where the previous spots were where we got support. And if we go to the daily time frame, I talked about this on a few videos ago. Let me delete some of these things. Let me just undo some of this stuff. But I covered this on a video a while back, probably maybe I don't know how long it's been, maybe like a couple weeks, a week or two, back in this area right here, where we're holding support right here. I thought we were gonna head down, but if you go to the daily time frame, we had all these bodies were kind of holding support right at this area, and that's kind of where we're holding support right now. So let's see, on the daily time frame, maybe something like this. If we break this support going to the downside, then it'll be a confirmation that we're like breaking the support, and we'll have to look at the next ones going down. This line right here is sitting at around 0.164. The bodies down here come down to around 0.154. The wick comes all the way down to like around 0.142. And like I said, the next Fibonacci retracement level going down is like 10 cents. The other thing I was kind of thinking, or not thinking, but kind of noticing, is it sort of looks like a head and shoulders. Not perfect, but like we had like the shoulder, the head, and then we might be getting another shoulder. Head and shoulder patterns look like that. So we have a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. I don't like the way this kind of looks, because usually it's like, it's more just like this, as opposed to all kinds of stuff going on over here like it is in this area. But basically we have a shoulder, head, shoulder, and then there's a neckline, basically a bottom like support line. If we break that support line, then what you could do is target from the top to the bottom. I don't know, you could do this from the wicks or the bodies, but we would do the top to the bottom of the head. Like I said, we have a shoulder, head, shoulder, target from the top to the bottom of the head to the neckline, and then you drag that to the breakout. If it breaks to the bottom, then that'd be a head and shoulders pattern, and this is the target that you'd be looking at, which is around 0.123. The thing about the head and shoulders pattern is it's actually it's a reversal pattern, and we're already trending down. So I don't know, I'm not quite sure how much I love that head and shoulders pattern target, but like I was saying, once we break that, if we break the Fibonacci retracement level going to the downside, I started looking at the next one anyways. So we just broke this Fibonacci retracement level going down again at this .185 level, .183, somewhere around there, level going down again. So I'm starting to look at the next one going down. So if we do break this support in general, then it's going to give me more confidence on that 10-cent target or whatever. The main thing that I'm really watching though is this weekly time frame. It looks like it's starting to curl up a little bit, which is actually a good thing, as opposed to it just like kind of crashing down. But sorry, my phone's like blowing up, my work phone. I think the main thing that I was talking about, I want to see the weekly time frame come down, follow us, and then us be able to ease into it. Once we break this weekly 9 moving average, that's going to be one of the biggest things I'm looking at right now. And this is a bigger time frame, so it's going to take longer. But once we do that, then maybe we can get support on that 9 moving average, start testing it as support, and then maybe it'll push us back up. Maybe. But I do suspect that we might be going sideways for a while. We might even go down, do something like that, and then pop up. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to wait and see. This is one of the biggest things that I'm looking at is the weekly time frame. But in the shorter time frames, we can still watch these trends and see if it gives us an idea whether we're changing direction in general. And like I said, the main thing, a lot of the thing that I'm watching is trends. So we had a downtrend right here. Like I said, when we're going down, we watch the tops, something like this. And then when we're going up, we watch the bottoms, something like that. And then when we start breaking the trends, we watch the top and the bottom, and to like for confirmation, or like a fake out. So like if we break that top line, it could have potentially, this trend break could have been a potential fake out. But if we break that bottom, then that's going to give us more confidence on us pushing to the downside, something like that. And those are those levels that I was telling you to look in the past, see the previous bottoms and the wicks, and then you can target those if you're doing leverage trading or whatever. I don't do leverage trading because I don't know, I'm in the US, so I don't know if they even allow that stuff. But I maybe on Coinbase, I don't know. There's like futures and stuff. I just do spot. But anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at today. Yeah, let's see what happens. If I had to guess, or I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if we break to the downside, but we'll see. We did have that little falling wedge pattern, and technically the target of a falling wedge pattern is the top of the falling wedge. The other thing about falling wedges, though, sometimes it doesn't perform all the way, and sometimes it'll go to like the halfway mark, or like the first resistance, because we have like resistance up here, resistance right here, resistance right here. Sometimes it'll just come up halfway and then like kind of fade out. And that's why I was thinking, even if we break up and we go halfway to there, that was like around 10-cent trade. I mean, a 10% trade. We didn't quite make it there though. So I don't know. And then the other thing that you want to watch for in these pattern targets, or these patterns in general, is the volume. We're getting declining volume. Once we break it, then we should be getting volume spikes. We got a little bit of green volume right here, right where we started to kind of go up, but I don't know. It kind of looks like it's kind of declining again. So we'll see. Let's see what happens. Those are the things I'm looking at, though, and those are kind of some of the strategies that I'm using. Hopefully, it helps you guys. If you guys are new to trading, check out TradingView, and I also have a playlist that I'm going to talk about here in a second. But if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you want to watch the last video, check it out right here. And if you're new to looking at charts, check out this playlist to help get you started on TradingView, to help, watch charts and set up everything like mine. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck, guys.